You're watching Beck TV. My name is Dean Beck, and if you've just joined us, tonight's guest in profile tonight is Victoria's Gender and Sexuality Commissioner, Rowena Allen. Ro, since settling into your new role, I know you've scheduled a few meetings, but have you achieved anything yet?
I think so. I think getting round 21 of the AFL in 2016 as a Pride round, that was an absolute team effort. But it was great to be part of that process, and that'll be great. I think that it's certainly been the start of things. I've got 18 months before the evaluation, and expect a survey monkey in your inbox. But it is about, sometimes it's not about big things. It's about changing hearts and minds one at a time. And I know I've moved government ministers in their thinking, and in the background conversations that I've had, I've done a lot of education in that space. And I think in moving government forward, department by department or secretary by secretary, I think some of the things that I've done in the last 4 months, you won't see instant change, but I think you're going to start seeing very subtle things like forms coming out with M, F and other boxes that weren't there. You know, it's that authorising environment that the Commissioner is giving in some of those places. So not everything magical overnight.
It must be wonderful to work with leadership that is so behind the issue and just gets it and says, we need to do this, make it happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're all really busy people too. I had 10 minutes with all the secretaries of the 7 departments. So I took in a bit of a checklist for them about the things that I'd like them to do, you know. And I thought that was quite good, about considering walking with me at Pride March and supporting the Rural Roadshow that I'm doing next year, and signing up to Pride in Diversity, which is an audit of their own organisation. And, you know, they're ticking madly. They want to be involved. Sometimes people just need to know how to do something. And sometimes we get paralysed by not wanting to offend, so we don't actually do something. So having someone you can check in with and say, right, what do you need, or how can we be more supportive in this area, they can do that. And I emphasise to particularly leaders in state government that you know, it's not always about resources. It's about physically showing and turning up and showing your support for something, and that's really powerful.
I sense that with so many corporates sort of taking on board LGBTI policies, that there is I guess a reward for them in doing so, and that is that their organisation becomes a far more welcoming place to all people. Absolutely. And a better business.
Absolutely. The Pride in Diversity, which is the audit of your organisation, PricewaterhouseCoopers and KPMG are falling over each other to get ranked in the top 20 in Australia. The 4 banks are just itching to get that top ranking. So they know something that the rest of us don't know, or that there must be money in this. As well as everything else, it must be good for the bottom line.
Because it's a hard slog to get all of those things in line.
It's
not easy.
No, it's not easy, and it's not just a rainbow sticker on the front of your office. It is a full audit about being inclusive, and of course, it will make an organisation inclusive for LGBTI people, but then, as you said, everyone. And if it is a competition to get the smartest and brightest minds, and we know that more young people are saying, I want to work in organisations where it aligns with my values. And so it's really important. Or I want a bank where, you know, we put our pink dollar. And I've said to a lot of corporates, you know, Subaru has been marketing to us for absolutely years.
They got it right.
They got it right. They got it absolutely right. Most of the lesbians I know drive Subarus, and in fact, I've recently just bought another one. But they're marketed to the mainstream as well. So when I say that in corporate world and people look at me and go, but I drive a Subaru, I'm just like, okay. But, you know, that's clever the way they've done that. And some companies have really got onto that.
You spend about 20% of your time with the LGBTI community, 80% with the broader community. Do you feel that you're connected enough to the LGBTI community, or is it as a representative, it's more about being that face out there in the big wide world?
Yeah, I suppose the 2080 rule is a vision at the moment. I reckon I'm probably spending 50-50. And I think in the first 4 months, that's really important to be...
You've done a lot of consultation and meetings.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things like that. But it's important that the LGBTI Victorians can look me in the whites of my eyes and make sure that I'm, you know, going to be a good ambassador for their issues. So hopefully down the track that won't be as required. That I can spend a bit more of my time out in mainstream on their behalf. But it's really important that they keep me, as you do and others, keep me up to date with the issues and so that I'm really advocating in the right places and the strategic places. But certainly this role gives me access and the ability to go into places that are, meeting with the governor or meeting with others or members of parliament. That is a real privilege, and I have to take those issues on behalf of the community.
You'd have to be the most approachable bureaucrat that I've ever come across.
Well, thank you. I take that as a badge of honour.
And it is a badge of honour because so many are surrounded by protectors, and you're just, here I am, come and get me.
Yeah, we have a very small unit, and they would love to send someone with me, like an advisor, everywhere I go. But I just say, I don't need you to do that. I really don't need you to do that because I'd rather you do the policy work and the important stuff back at the office. So they followed me out for a while. They realised it was probably safe enough. And the amount of work, because they don't just resource me as the Commissioner, they also resource the Minister for Equality. And so they do obviously they like to come out and
that policy work has to be right
has
first
to be done.
time.
Has to be done.
You can't muck that up.
No, and there's deadlines and cabinet deadlines and things that just have to happen. And I think there has been historically a perception of people in government with long white socks and cardigans that clock in at 8:35 and clock out at 4:40. It's absolutely not how it works. These are people that are dedicated and are in there till till the job's done. If I leave at 8 p.m, they're in there till 10, and so it is a 24-hour news cycle, it's a 24-hour briefing cycle, it's fast and furious, and they're very, very skilled at what they do.
How has it been for you to get that cut through in the media space? Because it's such a new, I guess there's a novelty value at first, but after that you'll have issues that you want to get forward and push. Are you getting the coverage you want on those things?
I think I am. Yeah. I think mainstream television, we're not there yet. The other area that I particularly want to go into is multicultural media, so multicultural radio, Jewish radio, and so on, in different areas. So that's the next frontier, I think, to start working in. But certainly,
that's a big space for change too.
It is. It is an enormous opportunity there, ripe for the taking, I think. And so there's some offers slowly coming in there, and I'll be be doing those. But I've done the Red Simons, the Neil Mitchells, and I've been really welcomed there. Neil Mitchell was fabulous until the red light went on. So, but he was terrific, and he's very supportive about come back, bring an issue back. Yeah. So, fifth month maybe I'll work something up to go back and talk about with him. But I've been very welcomed, and it's been terrific. I'm not sure I'm ready for Hamish and Andy or that, but you never know.
Victoria's Gender and Sexuality Commissioner Rowena Allen is our guest in Profile tonight. Stay with Bent TV. We'll be back right after this short break.